Welcome, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hopefully the stream is working correctly now.
Mm-hmm.
Our camera issues seem to have fixed themselves.
Yes. We were having problems with the camera turning off, which would not be very helpful in trying to do live stream.
Okay, take it away.
Cool. All right. So today we are playing the game Drawful on Jackbox. It's kind of like Pictionary, and like a mixture of Pictionary and of the game that we played at Campus Life last week, which was called Fibbage. So basically, you're going to be drawing something, and then after you draw it, people are going to actually try and guess what it was that you were drawing. We'll submit that, and then everyone gets to vote on what they think the real answer is.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
How are we doing
You said you didn't want to, unless you do.
I'm willing.
Oh, okay. Jeff is willing to actually do something. 1 sec.
Tap, comment below. Let us know how you're doing. Week 3, 4 of quarantine. Let us know if you're sane still.
Yeah, give us one word to describe what your week was like this week. All right, so before we play Drawful, Jeff and I are going to do a challenge. It's the roll-up challenge. For those of you who have come to Campus Life before, you are familiar with it. However, for the sake of time, so that it doesn't take us 10 minutes, I am going to take the paper off. But basically, Jeff and I are going to compete to see who can eat this roll-up the fastest.
I hate roll-ups.
Yeah, so
they're disgusting. They get in your teeth.
I thought that he wasn't going to do it because I put it on the agenda, which is why I wasn't prepared. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. And mark. Good, set. Good.
Okay, right?
No, get in your hand. Very good. Okay.
Am I on? Oh. You're having some issues there, Jacqueline. No. Ha! Ugh, so gross. Ah. I won.
Well done, dear. It kept getting stuck in my throat like I couldn't get it to go to the side.
Everybody put F's in the chat. Pay respects for Jacqueline losing. F's in the chat.
Rude. I tried.
For those of you who haven't seen us, our dog before, here's our dog. See him? He's cute. Stay. Stay. He heard us eating stuff and wanted to check us out. Normally he doesn't care what we're doing over here.
No.
But he came this time. So, yeah.
Cool. So now if I'm like picking at my teeth the rest of the night, you know why. It's because I don't look at my teeth. Oh, how's baby? He doesn't like being held. Can you tell?
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Okay, so we have 6 of you watching right now.
Hey guys.
Let's see. I don't see Ellie on yet, Caleb, but hopefully she will join us soon. Yes, so we're going to play the game Drawful. Jeff is going to put the slide up explaining how to play. Basically, you're going to jackbox.tv and you're going to put in your name. Please put at least your first name and then whatever so I can tell who is who. And then... Oh.
1 second.
I mean, you don't have to grab it. You can just...
I'm already doing it.
He's already doing it. Alright, so go to jackbox.tv, where it says like your name, put your name, and then Jeff will throw up the room code once he gets the game started. The first 8 people can be participants, and then everyone else gets to join the audience. And we'll just do 1 round. Did you extend the timers or no? Can you not extend the timers? That way it'll go fast. And then what we'll do is that then we'll play a second round, and anyone who did not get to play the first round and was like in the audience can play during the second round. Sorry. Clearly he's not a lapdog. All right. Are you ready?
No, I don't have my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Are you playing? Are you play?
I'll do the audience. All right. Jeff's getting it set up for us. Hi, JC. You actually were not that late because we had a late start. I know you texted me saying you were late. Also, Caleb, Ellie just texted me saying that she's not able to join us tonight. She's her mom's making her do some family time stuff. So, sad day. But I also see Anya said hi, hello. Good to see you too. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for also putting up with our technical difficulties. Just one of those challenges of doing campus life online means that there's more factors outside of my control, which makes it a little bit harder for things to run smoothly. So we are appreciative of your patience. All right. Almost? Okay. No worries. Jeff is amazing here. I basically tell him what I want done every week, and he makes it happen somehow with his amazing brain. If this was me and only me doing all this stuff, it would be sad and pretty basic. So Jeff makes this this live stream cool and awesome and adds cool elements to it and makes sure our lighting looks good and all of those things. All right.
Okay.
So we have our room code. The room code is MDDK.
Yeah.
Romans, does that mean that Hannah Romans is playing with us tonight? I didn't even say hello from her yet. Cool. JC, Caleb, Anya, maybe I will play.
It's always something. My phone froze.
All right. So we will start as soon as Jeff is ready. His phone froze.
I'm now drawing a picture of myself.
Okay, yes. So it looks like you can draw something of yourself if you'd like. Wow. The picture I drew of myself is not very becoming. All right, I think we can get this. Wow, Jeff, yours is so much better looking than mine.
Yes.
All right, let's get it started.
Okay. 1 second. I am setting up some more stuff.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you like mine. I think, you know how like you always say the camera adds 10 pounds? I also managed to add 10 pounds. Oh, Anya, I didn't even recognize you were down there because I actually thought it was part of the game. That is so cool. I like the pool kid added there.
Alright, we're ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the first time we're playing this game as well.
Yes, so we're all in this together.
Prompts have gone out. They should be on your devices now. Something kind of hard to
Caleb,
draw.
if you don't have a
Like
mouse,
slam
this might be
poetry
your channel.
or haunted bread box.
Okay.
Draw
So you
pictures
each have your own word, and you got to do your best
It's
To
set.
draw.
to draw your
Each
interpretation
player
of
that
it.
can correctly guess your title. So, good luck. If you're still watching, wishing you could somehow play along, you can still join the audience by going to jackbox.tv and entering this room code.
Come on, I'm done with mine. Mine's particularly easy.
Don't look at mine, cheater.
I'm sorry.
I'm married to a cheater, guys. Can you believe it?
I was not trying to look. You're sitting right next to me.
Okay, guys, let's see what we got.
Alright, waiting for 2 more. One last one.
It's okay, Caleb. That's the fun part.
Yes. We have not gotten to play a whole lot of Jeff's version of Pictionary at Campus Life this year, and so this is to make up for it, because the things that we have you draw here is kind of similar to the things that Jeff might have you draw when he leaves Pictionary.
Mine are more
Use your
fun, though.
devices to type in what you think the real
Yes,
title
dear,
for this
nothing
picture
could
could have been.
outdo. Alright, so now we are trying to guess what this item is that was drawn. Wow.
Okay, I guessed. You got 25 seconds to guess what the picture is. What is this picture?
Oh.
This is a very interesting picture.
Come on, typing time is almost up.
Just remember that you actually have less time than what you're seeing on the stream because of the delay. So Jacqueline told me to turn the extended
And here are
timers
your
off.
choices.
Yes.
One of them
I
is the
apologize.
real title.
Interesting.
Oh.
Don't forget to award people with extra points if you liked their answer.
Yep.
Pick an answer.
I like it.
And here are your picks.
See what we got.
The broccoli?
Ha! I tricked you.
Darn.
Ah, nice one, Hannah.
Oh.
Ooh. Nice. Stuck. So what is it actually? Is it a burrito tree? Is that what those are? It's burritos?
Oh,
Wow.
oh.
I mean,
I don't want to be mean, but that was a sad drawing of burrito tree.
How would you have done it better?
I would have done like bigger burritos.
I think it was great.
Totally thought it was broccoli with eyes.
Let's take a look at our next drawing. Type in a convincing title now.
What is that?
I'm on my phone too, but I have the fancy phone with the stylus.
Yeah, he's cheating.
I'm a little bit of a cheater.
He is. It's not fair. The rest of us just use our thumbs.
Quick, type in anything.
I'm actually really curious to know what this is.
And here are your choices.
Huh. Hmm.
Choose something.
Oh no, my phone stopped working.
Oh no.
Here are your picks.
Oh.
Try refreshing a page, Anya. Don't change anything and try logging back in. It might get you back.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, gas can.
Cool.
What?
Security blanket is the actual title?
I totally guessed.
Wow. Was not expecting that. And Jack is still in first. We really gotta kick Jack out first.
Put in your titles now.
Oh boy. Okay, let's do it.
Yep.
We can do it.
Hurry up, people. Just type something
It's
in.
interesting that they decided to only give you 2 colors.
Yeah.
Oh. Here are your choices.
Huh. Oh, very good. Put your votes in. That's very nice. This is
Hi,
awesome.
JC's sister.
Anything.
Hello.
And here are your picks.
No, I knew it was too easy. Good job, Anya.
That was a good pool. Ah, nice one,
Wow.
Good job.
It's a bad drawing, Jacqueline.
Hey, I don't think if Anya put down an empty can, I think that shows the fact that it looked like it was empty.
I suppose.
You gotta draw something empty. Alright.
Let's take a look at our next
Okay.
drawing.
This. This is interesting.
Okay, guys. I expect you to not get this. Actually, no. Get it. Great. Do I get more points if you don't get it?
I'm not quite sure.
I don't know how this works yet. Hey, Charles. Hey, puppy.
Oh. Hey, I'm serious. Time is up.
But just to let you know, when it says 20 seconds, you actually have 10 seconds. So get those answers in quick.
And here are your choices.
Alright, what do we got? Hold on.
Oh. Select an answer. Come on.
So it's so good.
Okay, who picked what? Oh.
Ah, nice one on you.
Wow. Fool me. Ah. Very nice. Alright, what's the real answer then? Really?
Oh, so you want people to guess what it is? Ah,
Yeah. I suppose they give you points if you have like accuracy
yeah.
in drawing. Ooh,
Oh, no,
snuck into
Anya.
First place.
She
Nice.
gave a mwahaha. I don't know about you anymore, Anya.
Now.
I think that was a well-deserved moi.
I think this is the one Anya drew, because it's blue,
Mm,
and her person blue.
that's true. Um,
Quick, type in anything.
Remember, when it says 20 seconds on your screen, you really got like 8 or 10.
Okay, here are your choices.
cool mom.
Somebody put Anya.
I love it. Hmm.
Pick something. Let's see what people picked.
Alright.
Next time, Caleb. Next time. Oh, snap. Snap.
Can't believe I fell for that. Close it on. Cool mom? Really?
Yeah.
I think that's an
love
apron
Cool mom.
and a spoon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Hmm. Cool.
Good job, cool kid.
And now Jeff snuck back into the first place again.
Up next,
Oh.
You know we got food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. See, Anya says I was correct.
Mm.
I'm always
come
correct, Anya.
on. Make the time
You should know this by now.
up.
The glasses that look like sunglasses is what threw me.
Mm.
And here are your choices.
Oh. Ah, there's so many options. Okay, really.
Come on, pick
That one
one.
makes the most sense out of all of them.
And
That makes sense for
here
kangaroo eggs. Brown circles.
Mm-hmm.
Kangaroos don't lay eggs.
Ah, you put potatoes?
They did.
Ugh. You should give you points. Oh, fuck. I fooled you too. No.
Good try, Caleb. I don't know what
I don't
kangaroo
know how
eggs
you
are.
could have drawn that.
Yeah, I don't know what they're supposed to be.
Kangaroo eggs would be something that you would make up for
Yeah,
dictionary.
they're not real.
Mhm.
Okay, it's drawing time
We're
again.
gonna draw again.
We could probably stay the same because it looks like I've got the same people.
Okay.
So. I wish that John overhead is small.
Yeah, the pen's kind of thick.
Mm-hmm.
cool stories to share about this week.
Yeah.
Not even like things I can actually share. I did something, but I can't put it out on.
Oh,
I get flagged. But it was cool. I built something.
you have to like privately text Jeff what you did. It wasn't like illegal or anything. It was cool.
30-second warning.
They'll get me flagged.
Shut and hit send. This game will be a lot less
Got
fun.
Big Brother.
Let's take a peek at your drawings.
Okay, here we go.
Enter your titles.
Remember to answer quickly.
Mm,
It's weird.
no.
Hurry up, people. Just type something in. Here are your choices.
What do I think it is?
Oh. Just tap any button. Okay, who picked what?
Oh man.
Ah,
Nice one on you.
Very nice.
You're very good at tricking people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means.
Is this your drawing? Because this is pretty cool.
Ha! Got you guys.
Mm.
Wow. I don't know how you're supposed to draw that, so kudos to you. I don't know what else you could have
Yeah.
done.
What were the diamonds above her? That's the part that threw me off.
Mhm. Hannah, do you know how to comment in the comments section? Because I haven't seen the comment.
All right, let's do another one.
Jeff, don't. Don't know what that means.
Oh.
Actually, how to beat Jeff.
Yes, you do have to do that. Do one last move. He cannot win 2 weeks in a row.
And
It'll go
here
to
are
his
your
head.
choices.
He already has a very large head, so you need to contribute to that.
Is that Just or Jeff?
This one here. Yes.
Oh, just pick one. And here are your picks.
No! I pushed the wrong thing.
Ha! Tricked you, Hannah.
So mean.
No! Oh, wait. Yeah. Nice one, Hannah.
Good cool.
Yeah! I know you, Anya. I know how you draw.
Super inspiring.
A bad motivation. Well, the other BC was pretty
It's pretty close.
close. Yeah.
Motivational poster.
Well done. Ooh, this
Next
is
up,
drawn by you.
Mhm.
It's a lot of hair.
Remember to answer quick.
come on. Typing time is almost up.
Mhm.
Oh. And here are your
Nice.
choices.
Twigs in here. Cool things.
Coolest thing. Okay.
Choose something. And here are your picks.
Cool hair.
Sorry,
Nice.
JC. It happens to everyone.
That is pretty cool hair, especially with the sunglasses. Ah. Cool. Ooh. I was wondering if that was Anya's. Coolest kid. Is it Frosted Tips?
Yeah.
Nice.
Quick fact.
Chinese
Jeff
war
fact.
confusing time.
Jacked. I once had Frosted Tips
You were so cool, weren't
for
you?
several years.
You'll have to like pull out some pictures from that.
I don't know if I have any pictures of that.
Yeah?
That's probably a good thing.
Probably. I had it for a long
And
time.
now, this drawing.
What do we got here? Hmm.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think my drawing of my face is pretty great. It doesn't look like me,
Pretty accurate.
but it's alright. I like it.
It looks pretty much just like what's on his shirt. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm serious. Time is up.
And what's the last person who pictures in?
Okay, here are your choices.
Okay.
What is that shirt one?
It's very lovely. It's cute.
Pick something. And here are your picks.
Ah, I knew it was too easy.
Oh no, I chose that one.
Haha! In the lead yet again.
Oh, that's not.
Oh.
Oh.
Anya's at 0 this round.
No, she's still in second place.
I thought that was the overall score. That didn't make sense. So it's-
Put in your titles.
Yeah.
Now.
What is it?
Probably be more believable. I'm not sure it's stuck.
It's little things like spelling that make a big difference.
Yeah, I'm not a very good
Quick,
speller.
type in anything.
Probably has to do with some of his phones and the fact that he relies so much on autocorrect for everything.
Or because you're homeschooled.
I resent that statement.
Here are your
Although,
choices.
possibly could be part of it. I have to do a lot of like spelling corrections. Hmm. I'm robbing this phone.
Pick an answer. Let's see what people picked.
Ah, I forgot to submit an answer. I'm doing it. Playground game. That one was mine. I kind of like trees.
Hey, who tricked me? The Playground Bandit.
I'm
Nice.
on here.
Sophia has joined.
Hi.
Heyo to you. Wow. Good job, Caleb.
Well done.
Wow, look how far ahead of everybody I still
Oh.
am.
And now, this one.
I like how when it's trying to you and they cut your screen, you do this and the lights never change.
Nice. I got the. You drew this one, but you probably already knew that.
Yeah, I think I got it before. But now it's showing my light is forever changed.
We got a hail and a hio.
Nice.
So I think the hio was
I think
spelling
mine is
machine.
almost up.
Cool.
Oh. And here are your choices.
This drawing of mine would have been way better if I had like a smaller
Oh.
marker.
Mm-hmm.
Select an answer. Come on. And here are your picks.
Sophia, you can join the audience. Seems like you just got here.
Mm-hmm.
Jackbox.tv, and then you put the code MDDK. You can join the audience and add to the game.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Hey,
Do you like my George Washington hair?
that's what got me.
Yeah.
The hairs. Why would they have drawn the hair that way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the end of the game.
Nice. And then, okay, next week we need to make sure that Jeff is not winning it.
Wow, thanks guys. Ah, JC had the most likes.
Cool.
Good job.
Awesome.
Very
Alright.
cool.
Well, that is the end of our game for today.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. Alright, sorry, Sage. I know we said that you could enjoy the game and then it finished.
We lied. I'm sorry.
But hopefully next time. Yes. Alright, so ready to move into announcements?
We are.
Alright, so today's announcements are brought to you by social distancing pickup lines. So if you at this time are feeling lonely, you're looking for a significant other, here are some very relevant pickup lines that you could use on someone during this social distancing.
If COVID-19 doesn't take you out, can I?
Maybe. You can't spell virus without you and I.
No, that's bad. I don't like that one. Since the public libraries are closed, I'm checking you out instead.
Creepy. My favorite one. Baby, do you need some toilet paper? Because I'll be your Prince Charming.
No, these are awful. I don't know if I can make them through. I got like 2 more.
You
Ugh. You can't spell quarantine without you are a QT.
Without you, my life is as empty as the supermarket shelves.
Ooh, that's pretty empty.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no toilet paper on those shelves.
Not anymore.
Hey, I really can't stay. Maybe it's COVID-19 outside. Gotta get home.
Yes.
Self-quarantine.
Yes, so if you are looking for some new lines to use, those people you're crushing on, just
Hi, Sophia. Sorry I have to leave.
bye. Yeah, just throw those out there. Be sure to get some interest.
Anyways, moving on.
Yes.
So, follow us on Instagram. Stay updated with our daily posts and updates. Next week's post will be a balanced life theme. So that'll be cool. Also, we're doing our Zoom call game night this Saturday at 7 p.m. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you guys join a Zoom call. It's going to look like this. So we'll put this out again later on Saturday, how to join. But basically, you download Zoom on your app. It's free. And you can join us to play some games. It's going to be fun. So do that. Also, after our live session tonight, Jacqueline's going to be on a Zoom call open to you guys if you guys want to join and talk and just hang out. So here that one is. Take a picture. We'll also put it up at the end if you're interested. It should be interesting. How long is it, the game night? That's a good question. Probably an hour or two.
Yeah, so, you can, like, always try and join it, like, you don't have to join it right at 7. If you're late, you can join it late.
Definitely. Also, we're going to be starting our Triva cookie drop-offs. So Jacqueline messaged a lot of you guys about whether or not you wanted a nice note with the cookies dropped off to your house, ding dong ditch style. So we will be dropping those off at your guys' houses in the next few days. So be ready, be prepared. Watch out your window. We're coming.
Yes, and I think I have 2 bags that have not been claimed yet. So if this is news to you and you're like, man, I would love some Triva cookies because I miss them, just send me a message and I would love to drop off a bag of cookies for you. If there's like a lot of you that did not tell me you want cookies, I can ask Triva to make some more next week and we can do this again next week.
JC, if you got game suggestions, hit Jacqueline up with a private message and be sure to look into them.
That would be great.
For sure. Okay. That's all we got for our intro / announcements this week. So now we will be passing it over to Jacqueline, who will be taking care of our lesson.
Yes, so tonight we are talking about depression. It just seems kind of relevant with everything going on, and especially with talking about loneliness last week. And Jeff kind of ended last week's video sort of talking about how like loneliness and depression are often very intertwined with one another. And so even if you like maybe haven't struggled with depression before, possibly being in more isolation could be making you feel just more depressed in general, as well as lonely. Also, some of you have been struggling with depression long before this has been going on. And so tonight we are specifically just wanting to talk about hope in the midst of depression. And before all of this quarantine stuff went down, we were actually supposed to talk about depression this week at normal campus life. Obviously, we can't do that. And so I asked 2 people who were going to be guest speakers for it if they would be willing to make some videos sharing some of the information that they wanted to share with you at Campus Life. And so we have 2 videos tonight from 2 different people. The first person is my mom. And when I went to her house to film this video yesterday, I said, okay, Mom, I'm trying to make like a 5-minute video. And she, I think, went for like 30 minutes without really taking a breath. Because that's who my mom is, and my mom is a talker. And so today I spent some time editing it down to about 7 minutes.
So we're going to play that for you guys. I think later we're going to also upload the full video, or most of the full video, to our channel. Because I think she had some really good things to say, just not necessarily the time that we had to put in for today.
Yeah. So you can check out the full video later, but tonight just check out this kind of 7-minute clip from it.
Find a verse in there that you can hang on to and bring that out, because God will come talk to you. If you put the word in your mind, He can bring that out. So one of the verses that I did is from the book of Philippians. Small book, 4 chapters in it. But it is in the 4th chapter, verses 4 through 7. Well, who cares where they are, but you can look it up. And it starts this way. Rejoice in the Lord always. I say rejoice. Well, when I'm first coming to that and I'm raw, I'm like, rejoice? Life is not good. How can I rejoice in you, God? I don't see you anywhere. The next verse, let your gentleness be evident to all. That's the last thing that's coming forth from me. I'm not gentle to anyone at that moment. I'm actually kind of cruel sometimes because I'm down and I just lash out, not thinking. Or quiet and inside and shutting the world out. That's not gentleness either. Just because I'm not storming out. I've done that too. The next verse. Present your needs, your requests to petitions and supplications in everything and with thanksgiving. I'm like, what? Thanksgiving? I'm not thankful for everything. But you're saying I'm supposed to talk to you about everything. Okay, God, you want it? You got it. I'm going to pour it all out, God. This is going on, and that's going on, and that's going on, and this is unfair, and I'm hurting, God. I'm really hurting. Life is really unfair. I'm mad that my boyfriend broke up with me. I'm mad that I lost my job. I'm mad that, this is happening or that's happening. I'm mad that I just want to sleep all day, God, and angry, and why can't I feel normal? God, help me. Yeah, and thank you. Thank you that, somebody called me on the phone. You're right. I haven't been in this totally long. Yeah, God, thank you. Thank you that I have a puppy. Riley, come here. I have some gentle, somebody in there to pour out. Well, you may not have a puppy at home, but when I start looking around, there's seasons when I had dogs, seasons when I didn't. But yeah, Lord, you're right. There are some things that I can see thank you for. Situation with the boss is hard right now. But you know what? My best friend, she listens to me complain about it. Yeah, I can be thankful for that. Lord, thank you for bringing that friend in my life. And then the next verse goes, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. It means I won't have it figured out, and I'm a thinking kind of person. He can give me peace in spite of me not figuring it out. Will guard your heart and mind. Yeah, Lord, I need you to guard my mind because I'm getting a lot of bad negative input, like those lightning bolts coming in. And it's hurting me, and they're negative thoughts. And thank you that you can guard that even though I can't figure it out. In Christ Jesus, my Lord. Yeah, and then I go back to the beginning of the verse. Rejoice in the Lord always. Okay, not totally all the way there, but yeah, God, I rejoice in you. Thank you that you're there. Rejoice in the Lord always. Let your gentleness be evident to all. Yeah, I can be gentle back to my best friend, not to my husband, my best friend. I can be gentlest to my supportive family. Yeah, and okay, I can be a little bit gentle to the really tough one in my life. Well, not completely, Lord, but I need your help. I need to talk to you about my request. Okay, God, that's it. Help me with that difficult person. Help me with that overwhelming assignment. Is this instant? No. Like I told you before, I take a set of verses, I go over it and over it, and let God shape me. And I find out that He will shape me. He will pour into you. He will give you a different perspective. Sometimes on your own, it's not enough. Sometimes shaping that perspective is reaching out to someone professional. Actually, talking to a counselor made all the difference because I needed to think about how was I handling that crisis? Was I doing what was unhealthy and keeping it all bottled up? Yes. Other times, was I expressing it all and being angry with everyone and pointing out all their problems because I had a problem and I wasn't dealing with it? Yes. Both of those are unhealthy. Going to a counseling isn't going to fix the problem, but it's going to help me walk through and learning how to, it won't make the problems go away. It'll help me walk through it. And sometimes walking through it sometimes means actually walking away from it. And other times means walking through it and it just doesn't get to you the same way. I've had circumstances when it's been both. Sometimes it's staying in, with a difficult boss in that season. Wasn't time to walk away. And sometimes it was exit. This isolation is probably the hardest thing for some of you that really need to relate to other people. I'm hoping I'm encouraging you to reach out. Get in some chats with Jacqueline or whoever you can. Good friends, people that are healthy, not people that invite you into unhealthy behaviors, but someone that's really going to help. And maybe it's a counselor. I know in my family, if we didn't invite a counselor into what was really going on, instead of keeping everything picture perfect, people look on the outside, oh, you have a perfect family. No, as a family, we've had many seasons where we actually did invite professional help. It made all the difference. And here's one thing I gotta do as an encouragement. If you're going as a family and as a think like one of my teens thought, Mom and Dad, you're not changing right away. You're not getting it. That's coming from a hurting teen. We heard it, but we also knew we've been doing it the wrong way for a long time. We can't change it right away. Hang in there. Give them a little bit of time and grace. Express what you need, but then give them some time too, because it's harder for an older dog to learn a new trick, but possible. It's always possible because there is hope, and God will not leave you alone. Another favorite verse is in Psalm 23. A lot of you heard of it. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The shepherd is Jesus. He's going to be there with you. It doesn't mean you won't have needs, but he means he'll be with you through it. And in that psalm, there's a part about walking through the valley of the shadow of death. He doesn't say there's not any valleys, but he will be with you.
Oh no, the camera's.
So, we're back on. So that was a really good video from Jacqueline's mom talking about how she found hope in her depression and what she focused on to fight through it. And she talked about how she focused on verses and focusing on how God was working in her life and promised to be in her life, and focusing on those verses to really show herself and to get herself through those hard times that she was dealing with.
Yeah. So that has been something that I've done in my own life as well, in different seasons, meditating on verses to help me in during times when I was feeling really low, and just reflecting on what does God's word say and reminding myself of that has helped me get through a lot. I also liked what she talked about counseling. When she talked about counseling, I was someone who went to counseling for many years, probably about 3 years when I was high school, early college, and then I actually did some more counseling about a year later, or no, not a year later, last year, is what I meant to say, and that was good, and helpful for me to just be able to talk to someone and process through some difficult things that I was dealing with in my life, and just, get to a place where I was able to process and cope with some of those things and learn some good coping techniques that I was able to use.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Should we show the second video?
You're the first one in.
So the second video is from our friend Nikki. And Nikki is a good friend of ours. I've known her for almost a decade. She actually knew me when I was in high school, actually going through a really dark point in my life, and helped me as I was dealing with depression. And she was able to help me from a very personal vantage point because she also has struggled with depression in her own life.
So this is her video on what she wanted to share with you guys, her struggle.
Hi, my name is Dr. Nikki Allen. I am a family physician, and I've known Jacqueline and Jeff for many, many years. They have asked me to make this video to talk about anxiety and depression, my faith, the interplay with all those things. So I'm going to try. I'm going to lead us in prayer first. Father God, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what these students need to hear. But God, I ask that you would guide me. I ask you to use whatever words I have to be an encouragement, to be a reminder that each and every person on this side of the screen is loved by you. So God, I give this time to you and I pray that you would take it. In Jesus' name, amen. So, okay, I've only got like 6-7 minutes. It's been 46 seconds already, 47, 48. There's much I could say. Where to start? I've had depression since I was in elementary school, and I would pray 2 things at night. Dear God, please don't let the Russians bomb us, because it was during the Cold War. And dear God, help me be good enough. And every single day I'd wake up and I'd have more proof of the ways that I wasn't good enough. I tried really hard. Yep, did lots of stuff. Tried to prove that I was good enough. I looked like I had my stuff together from the outside. 3.97 GPA, was involved in everything. But you could not convince me at my heart I had value. I knew the truth. I knew I blew it. I knew I was never good enough. And that sucks. It really does. So I started contemplating suicide my junior year of high school. My parents started giving me counseling, and I did counseling for 6 years. Junior year, senior year, all through 4 years of undergraduate into my first year of medical school. Counseling helped a lot. It did. I learned a lot. Apparently, there's other emotions other than frustrated. I didn't know that. Everything was frustrated. Apparently, there's other things like anger, hurt, jealousy, embarrassment, disappointment. I had to learn those. Those are good words. I encourage you to learn about emotions. They're helpful things. I had to learn how to feel what I was feeling. I had to learn to identify what was going on behind it. I also had the opportunity to learn that I'm not responsible for other people feel. I always thought I was. And even though I had counseling to talk about it and teach me that, it didn't really make much sense. I was raised to believe that I had to earn my way to God. I had to be good enough. Obviously, I sucked at that. I believed in God, but I knew He didn't like me. I mean, I didn't like me. Dude, I blew it all the time. Sure, God just had higher standards, was further disappointed with me. And so in college, I sought God more. I got involved with campus ministry. I did retreats. I did all kinds of stuff. And there was some good times where it was kind of like, yeah, this is good. Didn't fix it. At my core, I still knew I wasn't good enough. Oh, and I was also profoundly depressed. So fast forward into medical school. This would be 1996, probably before some of you guys were born. And I had a crisis in my faith life. I'd been challenged in my faith about who I thought Jesus was and where He fit in. I didn't have an answer. I don't know. Jesus Christ was a swear word. Apparently He was some guy who was on a cross. I mean, I knew that, but not much more. So somebody challenged me. Like, well, but what's your image of God? And I told them, I said, I can imagine this big tree, giant oak tree, a giant God sitting underneath it. And when I'm at the end of my rope, when I've got nothing left, I can imagine going and being held. And just being told, Nikki, it's okay, you're loved. And the person who was talking with me at the time responded this way. He said, it's kind of juvenile. Where does Jesus fit into that? Yeah, that didn't go so well for me. Kind of threw me into a tailspin, because now I not only wasn't good at everything else, I couldn't even believe in God the right way. Yay, I sucked. So with that, I finished up undergraduate, went into medical school, trying to figure out what I believe. Apparently what I believed has been wrong. I haven't done it right. Yay. Still suck at everything. Yay. Still horribly depressed. Yay. Still think that the world would probably be off without me. Yay. And they didn't have campus ministry, but they had this thing called Christian Medical Dental Association. And I was curious. So I went, and there were people in this room who were going through the exact kind of same stuff that I was in. They were in med school. It was hard. We were all exhausted and overwhelmed. But they had this piece I didn't have. They talked about Jesus like He was a real person. And I was terrified. I didn't want to let them know I didn't know what I believed, because I thought they might kick me out. So I kind of went, yeah, sure, yeah, I believe all that. Yeah, going, what are these people thinking? Right around that same time, there's another family tragedy. And at that point, my therapist, like all the other therapists over the previous 6 years, said, Nikki, it's time for you to take a med. I'm like, I don't need a med. I'm fine. It's just stressful. I'm frustrated. So I started medication. And I also, at the same time, was grappling with my faith. Who was this Jesus? What's going on with that? And right around the same times, I realized two things. Number one, antidepressants make my brain work better. Turns out, if I take my medications, I can process information and move on. I don't get stuck. It's a nice thing. I also realized I had been right the entire time. I'd been right the entire time. I wasn't good enough. I never would be. Does that sound encouraging? Yeah, it doesn't sound like it, but it is. Here's why. Because the entire time, God knew I was never going to be good enough. Neither were you. And that's why He sent Jesus. So that Jesus could take the penalty for all the things that I'd done wrong. And He could make it better. And because of that, I get a chance to talk to God. And I get to be real with God and honest with God. The last couple of years have been kind of difficult. Lost my job. Husband lost his job. We went pretty close to bankrupt. The sewer backed up. My daughter was struggling. My son was struggling. Oh, and then my husband died. Well, almost. We thought he would. We were planning for it. Turns out he didn't. That's another story. But it sucked. And during those 2 years, here's what I learned. I could talk to God. And I did. I have about 400 pages worth of journal. A lot of those journals kind of started like this. Dear God, I am so pissed off. How could you possibly do this? And here's the awesome thing. God didn't smite me. God didn't say, well, that's it. You're off the list. No, he's like, I know, it sucks, doesn't it, Nikki? Tell me about it. Talk to me. Let me hear it. And so I learned. My emotions matter. My hurt matters. My anger, my sadness, my sorrow, they matter. And I found joy and peace through that. Now I still take my antidepressant medications every single day. I don't do any more counseling because now I'm counseling others. But I want you to know depression, anxiety, and bipolar are real. So are cancer. So are diabetes and high blood pressure and all the rest of those things. We don't get to choose what happens to us. But there's a God who loves you. There's a God who aches for what you're going through. There is a God who has options to try and help you. Some of them are supernatural. The peace that comes from being able to bare your heart to God in raw ways, and then hearing this, yeah, but I love you anyway. Not audibly, but just this like, oh, God, you're still here. You're still putting up with me. I would have kicked me out by now, but you still love me. And that is the awesome thing. Like I said, some of it's supernatural. Some of it's pharmacologic. Some of it's coping skills. But I want you to know, these are hard times. Social distancing and quarantining suck. And I'm a doctor, okay? They really suck. And this is a hard time because we're all isolated, we're all overwhelmed. What I want you to know is it's okay to be broken. It's okay to be feeling it. It's okay to be sad and angry and hurt. And people are in a hurry to feel better. But first you got to feel that hurt and that sadness for a while. Then you get to decide what you're going to do with it. You can feed on it. You can dwell on it. Or you can say, okay, God, I can't handle this. Help me. Ask for help. Talk to Jacqueline and Jeff. Share what's going on. But understand you're right. You get to choose what happens to you, but you get to choose how you respond. Choose the best. You're worth it. God loves you. He's got plans for you can't understand. And I want you to know that now more than ever, He is still in control. He is still in control. And He loves you. That's it.
And we're back.
Awesome. Yeah, so I really appreciate Nikki and my mom being willing to make those videos. I hope they were encouraging to you guys. Just seeing other people a little older, a little wiser, and their journey with struggling through depression and coming out the other side. You know, it's not like depression is no longer in their life. But they've learned ways in which to cope with it, in which to find hope within it, and where to find that source of hope. I like I like many of the things that they said in there. So as we finish our time, I just wanted to wrap up by kind of highlighting 4 different things that they said in there. And things that have been true for myself in just my own experience with dealing with depression. And the first one is I want to encourage you guys to seek help. If you are feeling down more days than you're feeling up. If you're wanting to sleep over all the time, if you're just struggling with a lot of negative thoughts all the time, I encourage you to reach out to someone, a trusted adult, whether that's a parent, whether that's Jeff or myself or Terry or Joshua, whether that's a school counselor, someone that you trust, that you can reach out to and say, hey, like, I think I need to talk to someone, and we would be more than happy to listen. We both have dealt with depression in our life, and we love to just sit and listen, and encourage you, and remind you that you're not alone. And I encourage you specifically to reach out to someone who's a little older and wiser. Friends are good, and reaching out to a friend isn't wrong, but sometimes our friends aren't able to help us in the way that an adult can help us. And so I encourage you to reach out to an adult. And like within that too, like counseling can be something that can be really beneficial. Like I said before, it's helped me in different seasons of my life process through some difficult things. So if that is something that you think could be beneficial into your life, school counselors obviously are available. Some schools sometimes have a school psychologist. If you're looking for something beyond that or something that's outside of what the school offers, I do have a list of resources that I can give you of some local counseling places that I've gone to, places that my friends have gone to, where they've been able to get some help as they were going through some different things. My second thing is going off of that is I want to encourage you guys to be real and to be raw with what you're going through. Many times when you're depressed, you just kind of turn inward and isolate yourself even further than how you might even be feeling like you're isolated. And one thing that, like my mom said in her video, was that she learned that she could be raw and real with God always, and He wasn't. And same with Nikki, like God wasn't gonna smite them for being real or for being raw or for screaming at God, this is unfair. I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm sad, I'm all these things. And so even if you feel like you can't be real or raw with your friends, you can always be real with God. You can always pour out those emotions. I love the book of Psalms in the Bible because David is very real with his frustrations, with being frustrated that seeing his enemies flourishing and yet he's struggling and like, God, what the heck are you doing? This is unfair. Job is another person who just poured out his heart to God, and God listened, and God reminded him and helped him to change his perspective as he was going through those difficult times. So don't keep it all in. And sometimes, like, some people are verbal when they're expressing frustration. Some people write or journal. There's been seasons in my life where I've journaled different things, and sometimes that can be a place in which we can just get out our thoughts. So don't hold that in. Just know that you can always share all of your frustrations with God. The third one is finding things that you're grateful for. Studies show that this is one way in which can be helpful for someone who is feeling sad or down or depressed, is to make a conscious choice to look for the things that you can be thankful for. In my mom's video, she talked about that part of the verse that talks about doing that, and that can be hard, like really hard. When you are down, it can be hard to look at anything around you and to feel like being grateful for anything. But I want to reread that verse again. Philippians 4:6-8, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your minds in Christ Jesus. It is like an exercise in the same way that working out is an exercise. The more you do it, it's like a muscle that you can strengthen. About a year and a half ago, I made a conscious choice to actually start a gratefulness journal. And so every single night, I'm actually really proud of myself because I am usually not good at sticking to these kind of things, but every single night for the last year and a half, I have written down a couple sentences each night about something that I'm grateful for. And there's some nights where it's easy and I'm like, oh, I have a bunch of things that I can list. And there's other nights where it's like I just got done bawling my eyes out and looking at my day and feeling like this was the worst day ever, and really having to dig deep and figure, okay, what can I be grateful for today? And sometimes it's, okay, God, I'm grateful for the sun, like, because I'm just feeling so down that there's like nothing. But there's other days where there's a lot. And so I encourage you to get into that practice of looking each day at one thing that you can be grateful for that day. Because truly, that's how, like in that verse, it talks about how it will guard your hearts and minds. And so when we are filling our minds with ways in which we can rejoice and in which ways that we can be thankful, and sometimes like you don't feel it, but yeah, so I encourage you to do that. The fourth reminder that I wanted to give you, Psalms 23:4, it says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. God doesn't promise us that this life here on earth is going to be happy-go-lucky with no problems ever. In fact, he says the opposite. He says there are going to be difficult times while you're here on earth. There are going to be hard things. And when you are dealing with depression, you can feel like you are in the darkest valley of death. But there is comfort in the fact that God is with you, that you are never going through this alone, that he is always there walking beside you. And yeah, that has brought me some comfort in some different points when I felt like I was alone, when I felt like there was no one that understood what I was going through, remembering that God knows what I'm going through, that he is there with me to listen to me when I'm frustrated. The last thing I wanted to encourage you with is that you might feel like depression is your biggest weakness, but actually it can be your greatest strength. I know when I was feeling depressed, I felt like I was just less than. I felt like I am struggling and I am just like, I don't know, I felt like I was just walking around with this open wound, and I saw other people were functioning great and I was just struggling to get from one day to the next. And I felt like there was something wrong with me. And years of working through depression and going through counseling and things like that, and starting to get kind of on the other side a little bit, starting to see some light at the end of that valley, I was able to look back and recognize that, yes, starting with depression is hard, and yet at the same time, I'm able to help others who have also gone through depression. Not only that, but I also recognize that when I was going through that depression, it gave me, it helped my relationship with God, because when life is going well, there's times when I forget that I need God. When I'm like, yeah, things are great, I don't need him, like, and I'm in my own little world. And then, but when I'm struggling, that's when I'm like, oh yes, Jesus, I need you. And when I really lean into hearing his voice. And so a verse that actually has meant a lot to me during those times of struggling with depression is found in 2 Corinthians 12:9-10. And it says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I will delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, and in difficulties. For when I am weak, I am strong. I, by myself, am weak. I, by myself, can feel like I'm less than. And yet, when I choose to let God work through my life, he takes what looks like a whole lot of insecurities and hardships and difficulties, and he turns them into something beautiful. I'll end with a story. There was a couple that were speaking at a conference once, and they were like, they were dating, but it was starting to get serious. And the girl one day was like, hey, like, listen, we need to talk. And she shared about some things from her past, and some past choices that she'd made, and some things that she had gone through and struggled with, and she just felt crushed. She was like, because she felt like after she told him all this, he might walk away and not want to continue that relationship with her. And he listened. And at the end of it, he said, you know, those broken pieces in your life, God can make into a living mosaic. And he can take all of those broken pieces, and he was like, I already have seen it. He's taken those broken pieces in your life of this and that and all these things that weren't perfect, and he's formed it together to make a living mosaic. I don't know if you've ever seen a mosaic before, but it's, you know, just a beautiful piece of art that's made from little tiny broken pieces of glass. And so I want to encourage you that there is hope, that God can use what you're feeling right now, what you're struggling with right now, to do something beautiful, to work in someone's life in a beautiful way. Anything to add?
Nope.
Cool. So at this time, I know that depression can be, it's a heavy topic, and it's something that you might be struggling with yourself. And so I didn't want to just like end this here without giving you just an opportunity to talk to someone. So if you right now are needing to talk to someone, we have a Zoom call that's going on right now. Jeff will put up the information for it again. And so if you open Zoom on your browser, you can put in the meeting ID and the password, and you can join the Zoom call and talk with me right now. Also, at any point in time, you can always reach out to Jeff or myself through texting, through Instagram, through Remind, and we would be happy to be there for you. Cool. Well, with that, we'll leave the information up a little bit longer, and I'll put a link in the chat, and so feel free to join us. And Caleb, you may not, I know we've not known each other for a long time, but Jeff and I are happy to be a trusted adult in your life. And so we're happy to be there for you if you need someone to talk to. So should we sign off?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right.
So it's great getting together with you guys. I hope you have a good week. We'll see you hopefully on Saturday on our Zoom game night. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Adios.